Alam po ninyo, Mr. Chair, I have to apologize for making this comparison. Yung 18 Marines po, yung kanilang mga dineliver na mga maleta, kinumpute ko rin po eh. Despite the logistical nightmare scenario that was peddled to the public, ganito po yun eh. Approximately, they were delivering 2 billion pesos per day. Based on 33 months times 4 weeks. Average po ng about 42.5 maletas, averaging 40 million. It's maleta. Ito pong gross income na kinocompute ko, Mr. Chair, mas mataas pa po doon sa maleta na dinala po ng 18 Marines. Allegedly. Wala po akong inaano. I'm just trying to see. I mean, yung analogy lang po. Wala po akong pakialam kung totoo o hindi totoo yung sinasabi po doon sa sworn statement. That has yet to be investigated properly. Ang kwento ko po is 2 billion a day yung sinasabi nila. Sabi ko nga po, I'm not saying that that is correct. That is yet to be investigated properly and in proper time. Pero ito pong sinasabi ko, it's 3 billion pesos per day ang gross income po ng National Oil Company. These are not my figures. Salamat po, Mr. Chair. By statistics coming from the oil companies, I think we should put some perspectives on today's hearing. You will note, Mr. Chair, that during the last hearing, this representation provided certain data coming from the tanks of Rotterdam Refinery and the tanks of Petronas Malaysia, also docked in Singapore. May I be allowed to present this data, Mr. Chair, which I updated last night. So these are basic price data as of March 25, 2026.
Yes, go ahead, Senator Mark.
Can you please, can you see it, Mr. Chair? This slide, Mr. Chair, is provides the data supplied to me by Netherlands Refinery, Rotterdam Tanks in Singapore. As of March 25, 2026, on the basis of 100,000 shipment, 100,000 metric tons, which means 118 million liters. And assuming that Philippine peso is 60 pesos per $1, 1 metric ton equals 1,180 liters. The FOB price, as you will see in this slide, Mr. Chair, is 570 US metric ton per metric ton. Okay. Metric ton. Yung shipping cost nito, Mr. Chair, ito 1,500. Okay. So, yung MOPS niya is 1.71 dollar per liter. Kapag kinumpute natin ito, Mr. Chair, FOB $570. So, translate na natin $15 per liter. Isama natin ang $15 per liter and MOPS of 1.71. Multiply that by 60, Mr. Chair, and divided by 1,180. Conversion in liters. Makikita po nyo dyan, the FOB landed cost is 29 pesos 83 centavos. Kapag inad po natin yung mga local add-ons, importation, distribution, and storage deposit to acquire TSA, broker fees, duties for change charges, SGS survey, warfades, incidental charges, 12% VAT, excise tax, BIR fuel marking, 2% CME per liter, and VAT differential totaling only 15 pesos and 51 cents. Ang total landed cost, Mr. Chair, is 45 pesos and 35 centavos. So yung SRP po, or passion price, for example, at 55 pesos per liter, meron pa pong tubo na 9.6 pesos. In the last hearing, you will recall, Mr. Chair, I was asking the DOE Secretary kung paano po nangyari 2 weeks ago before the war, the price of diesel is 55 pesos per liter. Bigla pong sumirit ng 125 liters, average of 125 liters after 2 weeks. The difference is 70 pesos, Mr. Chair, or an increase of 127. Ito po ay verifiable sa paano po. Can you show the second slide? Yan ba yan? Mr. Chair, ito po yung second slide. Yung nauna kanina, FOB price, kaya 570 per metric ton, US dollars. Ito po CIF, $640 per metric ton. So palagi mo lagyan din natin ng shipping cost of $15 per metric ton. At saka yung MAPS, 1.71. The same computation, FOB landed price, 33 pesos and 39 centavos. So isama po natin yung binanggit ko pong mga add-on, local add-ons, 51.51, 48 pesos and 91 cents. So with the SRP or passion price of 55 per liter, may 6 pesos pa pong tubo eh. So paano po nangyari? Kaya hindi ko po maintindihan. Patulong na po kami sa DOJ, DOE nung isang hearing. Hindi naman po nila maipaliwanag. And they were asking for my data. Ayan na po yung mga data. Will you show the last? Mr. Chair, ito po yung last slide. CIA po ito. Ito po Petronas, Malaysia Refinery. The tanks are all in Singapore. O ito po makikita nyo, $680 per metric ton, CIF. Maski lagyan pa natin ang shipping cost na $15 at saka yung 1.71 na MAPS. Again, using the same computation translated into liters, 35 pesos and 42 centavos. Plus the local add-ons, 50 pesos 94. Passion price 55, meron pa pong tubong 4 pesos per liter. How do we explain this? Sinasabi po ninyo you were importing it from Dubai and you cannot penetrate it because of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Bakit po yun ang reference natin? I'm talking about the prices now being quoted by the tanks in Singapore. Petronas and Rotterdam tanks in Singapore. This is tanks to vessel transaction. Ay, alam ko po, alam niyo ito. So, yung vessel po lalapit lang sa tank. Kayo kung gusto niyo, CIF, yung tanks na lang lalapit sa inyo. But these are the prices. You can check the prices in Singapore. Nasa akin po eh. I check it with a friend in Singapore. It's very easy naman po eh. We have an embassy in Singapore, I suppose, na maaaring makapagtanong din siya to check this data. Bakit po the President said 2 weeks ago we have about 50 to 60 na inventory. After 2 weeks, bakit po sumirit ng ganun? Inventory pa nyo, meron pa po tayo. During the last hearing, we have 45 days for diesel and 54 days for gasoline as admitted by DOE. So what are we talking about? Prices of Dubai or Argus benchmark analysis or even the MOPS? Why are we using indicators when there are basic prices even quoted by the tanks in Singapore? Bakit po yung reference natin is the MOPS or the Argus benchmark? Why so? These are hard facts, Mr. Chair. I'm showing it to you now. Saan po ninyo kinukuha yung langis ba? Dubai?
May I answer, Mr. Chair?
Yes,
I am not familiar with the data that is being presented. But very clearly also, Dubai price now is 140. You can ask DOE. How can a product be cheaper than $140 per barrel?
Sir, because it is being referenced to the Argus benchmark, the Argus data. You're taking it from the maps. You talk about Dubai maps or Singapore Platts. Indicators po ito eh. This is the trading floor like WESM. Tinetrade po natin yon. Pero kung yung mga tangki na po sa Petronas ang nagsasabi and they're providing this data to us, paano po natin i-reconcile ito? I'm not questioning your indicators po, but I am only showing some figures, hard facts that are supplied to me.
Your Honor, again, this is the first time that we've seen the numbers. We would love to check it as well. But
Yes, sir.
yung Argus po kasi is another information provider. Para lang din maps yan eh. Pero dito kasi, plots ang ginagamit.
Yes, sir. Ano po yun eh? Worldwide po yun eh. Let's take the example of WESM sa electricity po. It's a trading floor. Ang WESM po, kapag walang bilateral contracts po yung supplier ng kuryente, pupunta sa WESM. Kung bilateral, may mga suppliers po ang Meralco, okay lang po yun. Pupunta lahat sila sa WESM. So yung WESM, the trading floor, ito yung spot market, ididikta niya. Pero hindi lahat ng pagkakataon sa WESM po yun. Kumisan nga eh, sa WESM magtataka kayo eh, 32 pesos pa nga eh, per kilowatt hour, which is impossible. Sa Meralco, siguro 10, 11 pesos per kilowatt hour. Sa electric cooperative, siguro, medyo mataas ng konti, 14 to maybe 18 pesos per kilowatt hour. Yung sinasabi po ninyo is the trading floor. That's the spot market. But I'm telling you, these are the figures. You can check it. Kaya po binigay ko na po rin para makita po ninyong lahat. Eh. I can even give you a name of a company in Singapore para siya po yung makipag-deal. It will take only the government, siguro mag-issue po kayong letter of intent. Baka mamaya po, sumagot na po yun eh. And for our country to issue the ICPO. Yusek, meron kang gusto sabihin?
I'd like to thank, for the record, Mr. Chair, thank you very much. On behalf of the DOE, we asked for the data precisely to validate and also look into the conversion and the computation. So I'd like to thank the Honorable Marcoleta for showing it right now.
For the record, Mr. Chair, may I provide the copies of the 3 slides I have shown?
yeah, the committee will request for those computation and furnish the Department of Energy those computations as well as the associations of the different oil companies. With
For
your
the record,
permission.
Mr. Chair, I am leaving it with the committee
Yes.
and for the DOE to just access this particular data.
We will
Thank you very
furnish
much,
the
Mr. Chair.
we will furnish the department, Mr. Senator Marcoleta. We'll discuss pricing later on. No? We're also very interested with pricing kasi yan ang dumediretso sa sikmura ng bawat isa eh. Pag sinabi natin pricing, talagang literally diretso sa sikmura ng bawat isa, especially ng ating mga PUV drivers. No? So, pag-uusapan ho natin yung mamaya at request ko nga si Senator Marcoleta to provide us with this computation because seems to me na napakalayo naman po yung quotation na nakuha ni Senator Marcoleta, which is just yesterday, versus yung actual pricing na nakikita natin ngayon. But we'll discuss that later on after we finish the comments and the statements. So next will be Chevron, represented by Mr. Tang Manuswong, the President and Country Chairman of Chevron Philippines. Go
Thank
ahead,
you,
sir.
Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everyone. Before addressing the four inquiries from Mr. Chair, let me quickly address the point about the pricing. First and foremost, that's our first time seeing this information, so I appreciate if we can get that information for our validation purpose and also to make sure that the unit and the conversion is aligned with the practice here in the Philippines. What I immediately see from the list, what is missing is one of the key cost factor, which is the product premium that we have to pay to the trader, and that's already a big chunk of the cost component coming to the Philippines. Just to give an idea, now we are talking about dollar per barrel unit, unlike the dollar per liter unit just flashed up earlier. MOPS yesterday for diesel was more than $220 per barrel, while the product premium that we have to pay to the trader in order to get the supply is supposed to be in normal circumstances is between $0 to $1 per barrel premium. But as of yesterday, is more than $40 per barrel. That's the premium that we have to pay to the trader in order to get the supply. Again, after getting the information, that spreadsheet, we are willing to clarify and confirm the information whether the current information that we are using is aligned with that information or not. Now, coming back to the four inquiries from Mr. Chairman, the first one is the inventory. For Chevron, at this point of time, similar to the information provided by DOE, we have sufficient inventory up until the last week of April. So that's our current inventory situation. But anyway, that's based on the normal level of the demand. Second is on the supply security. Similar to the information provided to DOE, Chevron already secured the shipments in April. Having said that, there are also possible uncontrollable factors coming from the source countries. As Mr. Lubin mentioned earlier, some of the countries already banned the export of fuel product to outside of the country. So those are uncontrollable factors that may impact to the supply security of the company. At the moment, we are in the finalization stage of the May shipment, which is yet to confirmed. And talking about the global supply chain, we get the product from refineries in the region, and most of the refineries in Asia got the crude oil from Middle East. Right now, all refineries are still running using the crude oil inventory before the war. That normally lasts for 45 to 60 days. That means at this point of time, refinery can still continue the production, although almost all of them, I would say most of them already reduced the production capacity. So the supply from the refinery is already tight, and the impact will come to the import countries likely end of April and May, and that's when the refineries will have to secure the crude supply, the new crude supply from Middle East. So right now the issue is pretty much on the pricing. The supply is tight, but for Chevron, it's still manageable at least for March and April. Number three, talking about the pricing mechanism, I would like to mention again that yes, we import based on the Platts index, which is MOPS in Singapore. On top of that, we also have to compete with other buyers to pay product premium to the trader in order to get the supply. On top of that is the increasing freight and insurance. And because of the ongoing battle in the Middle East, many of the insurance brokers or companies stop providing the insurance to the vessel owner already. So that's adding on top of the difficulty of getting the vessel. After that, then before coming to the country, we also have to handle the, the forex, the foreign exchange rate, which is peso is weakening, so you have to absorb that. So that's for the pricing. And last but not the least, about the support from the government. I have a few points. First one is the importation process. During this time, the best is we get the product in an effective and timely manner. So we would like to get the support from all relevant authorities to try to simplify the importation process, not to delay the unloading of the product from the international vessel to the terminal. Second is to streamline the activity across all government entities, central government, and also LGUs, because we still continue to experience different treatment or different actions from the central government, namely DOF, DOE, versus the local treatment from the LGU. So that's add on the complexity to our supply operation. And last one is many of the countries, as mentioned earlier, already banned the exportation of the product. So we would like to request for support from the government to have the G2G discussion with the government of other countries to ease their policy and to support the exportation to the Philippines. Thank you.
Thank you. We recognize the presence of Senator Bam Aquino. Yes, Senator Marcoleta.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
We also recognize the presence of Senator Lauren Legarda.
Morning.
Representative from Chevron, we're coming from different perspective. What is the monthly consumption of the Philippines in terms of diesel? Diesel-wise, what is the national consumption?
The daily volume is 33 million a day.
Sir, I'm talking about monthly. How much?
Monthly is 1.9, 900
Metric tons or barrels or what?
million liters.
996,348,000 liters. That's correct. Tama po.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So, halimbawa, pag-usapan po natin yung diesel. Sabi po ng President, before the war broke out, we had 50 to 60 days of supply. Tama po. So after 2 weeks po, yung 55, tumaas po ng average of 125. Kinuha po natin yun sa inventory, yung 125, sir. Tama po. Sir, you have to answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But I cannot speak for the others.
Yes, sir. Kayo po yung sumagot kasi tinatanong ko yung Chevron, kayo po yung sumagot eh. Okay?
I have the number kasi.
Yes, sir. So, 996,348,000 liters per month. Yun po yung consumption natin sa diesel. So, nagkaroon po ng increase na 70 pesos per liter after 2 weeks. That's 127%. So, tingnan po ninyo, Mr. Chair. 996,348,000 liters times 70 divided by 30 days. That's 2.32 billion per day, approximately gross income. Is my computation correct, sir? Ulitin ko po, 996,348,000 liters times 70, ito po yung increase, divided by 30, 2.32 billion per day ang approximate gross income. Kasi kinuha nyo po sa inventory. Wala pa naman po yung, di pa naman kayo umaangkat. 2 weeks pa lang po nakaraan eh. Gasoline. It used to be 50 liters per day, pre-war. Naging 80 liters po, average, after 2 weeks. So meron pong difference na 30 pesos per liter or an increase of 67%. Sir, ilan po yung consumption natin ng gasoline per month? Four 4,521,000 barrels or 714,318,000 liters. Correct po? Can I get a confirmation? Anybody from? Welcome.
Anyone from the from DOE or from our
These figures were
stakeholders?
supplied to me by a friend from the oil companies.
I think DOE will be the more appropriate resource person to shed light on this matter.
Mr. Chair, as confirmed kanina, yung diesel is around 32.5 million liters per day. More or less 33
Tinasort
million.
na natin yun,
the gas-
996,348,000.
Yeah,
Yung gasoline na lang,
gasoline is around 23.3 million liters per day.
or 714,318,000 liters. Tama po?
The 23.3 million is already in liters, Mr. Chair. Daily.
Kaya nga, times 30 ilan? $714,318,000 liters of gasoline. Tama po.
That's correct. Around
Oh,
600.
yan. Ito po, ganito. 714,318,000 liters of gasoline times 30 days. That is 714 million per day. Approximate gross income. So pag pinagsama po natin itong dalawa lamang, Mr. Chair, per day po ito sa diesel po, 2,324,312,812,000 plus 714,318,000. Ang gross income po per day is 3,039,130,000 per day. 3 billion, Mr. Chair. Kinuha po ninyo sa inventaryo ninyo ito. 2 weeks pa lang ang nakakaraan. Alam po ninyo, Mr. Chair, I have to apologize for making this comparison. Yung 18 Marines po, yung kanilang mga dineliver na mga maleta, kinumpute ko rin po eh. Despite the logistical nightmare scenario which was peddled to the public, ganito po yun eh. Approximately, they were delivering 2 billion pesos per day. Based on 33 months times 4 weeks, average po ng about 42.5 maletas, averaging 40 million. It's maleta. Ito pong gross income na kinukompute ko, Mr. Chair, mas mataas pa po doon sa maleta na dinala po ng 18 Marines. Allegedly. Wala po akong inaano. I'm just trying to see. I mean, yung analogy lang po. Wala po akong pakialam kung totoo o hindi totoo yung sinasabi po doon sa sworn statement. That has yet to be investigated properly. Ang kwento ko po is 2 billion a day, yung sinasabi nila. Sabi ko nga po, I'm not saying that that is correct. That is yet to be investigated properly and in proper time. Pero ito pong sinasabi ko, it's 3 billion pesos per day ang gross income po ng National Oil Company. These are not my figures. Salamat po, Mr. Chair.